what we're going to do is we're going to take the power steering pump off. We're going to take the power steering box off. The power steering pump has a bad bearing, and that's from being run dry. When I first got this Jeep, the power steering box used to leak out the sector shaft. So I went ahead and tore it apart and put a new shaft seal in it. But the damage was already done. You know, all I did was stop a leak. The power steering pump growls like a gear drive now. And the box has so much slop in it that you can't get rid of it. I mean, it just wanders all over the road. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert it over to a 99 Durango gearbox. Tighter turning. I think, just as an example, this one here is like 3.5 turns lock to lock. The Jeep is 2.5 turns lock to lock. So we'll go ahead and get that off. You don't need many tools. You can pretty much do it with hand tools. We'll go ahead and get started because I got to turn the pump box in tomorrow for a core. The box is already here, and we'll go ahead and get that off. All right, 3/4 inch nut here. Take the cotter pin out. The shaft that holds the steering column coupler on, 13 millimeter. And then generally, now I've had this apart before, so that's all you need to take that loose. Get that out of the way. And then you got your 21s on the side of the frame. There's 3 of them. We'll drop that box down and get the 2 hoses off of it. And what we're actually probably going to do is take them off the pump, pull the whole assembly out one shot. That way I don't have to hold this thing up in the air. And then I'll take this to a friend's tomorrow, get the pitman arm off because he has a puller and I didn't bring it with me. So we'll go ahead and disconnect those hoses up top and knock these 3 bolts in the side of the frame over here. There's 1, 2, 3. And then we'll go ahead and get that loose. All right, there's the shaft. It's just basically on a spline, smashed shut. When you go to put it back on, tap a screwdriver in here, widen it out a little bit, and it'll go on a whole lot easier. All right, all we got left to do is the hoses and the bolts. All right, this is the high side hose. If you have any questions about your hose being bad or cracked, now would be the time to replace this one. The other one is low side. It really doesn't have any pressure on it. It goes to the back here. We got to get this out of the way so we can get to that one. We got to twist it and hopefully not bust the tank, because I don't think you get a new tank with the pump. So we're going to have to try and be careful with that. And then we'll be back. Now, who stupid is this? I went and shoved my hand in that little crack down there, and now I can't get it back out. I take this mount off that strut loose and see if I can't get my hand back. All my other tools are laying on the floor except this little pair of vice grips. See that. Ow! Crap! That wasn't fun. Now back to the hose. Alright, got both hoses. So now we're going to take the 1 bolt left in the box after this drips, and then yank the box off. That was pretty good. I pulled the 1 bolt out, the whole damn box just fell on the ground. Now we'll go ahead and pull the 2 hoses off of it. We don't have to take those to town with us. And then those should be 18 millimeter each. And we'll be done with this for right now. This should be part 1. Okay, there's our pile of parts. I got a brand new rebuilt power steering pump. I already got the pulley put on it. Rebuilt Dodge Durango box. new high side line. This is the return. It's just low pressure, so we're just going to go ahead and use fuel line on that. A couple of clamps for this new hose. And we'll go ahead and get started putting this together. All right, went ahead and put both lines on, put new O-rings in them, got the clamp on that low pressure hose. The only reason you're putting the lines on now is because they're under this winch plate and they're a pain in the ass to get to with the pump on the car, so we'll just stuff them up in there and make my life a little easier. All right, I got my 3 bolts hand started. The battery's dead. Yeah, almost. I thought it was charged up, but it ain't. All right, then we'll torque those down. We'll put the pitman arm back on it, steering sector shaft, which is the shaft that comes from the column, and then we'll get back. All right, here's the steering shaft. It goes on the top of this sector shaft. It only goes in one way. There's a flat spot on it, and then you have to pound it down far enough for this bolt to go through a indentation in the shaft. But then you just straighten the steering wheel back up. Pitman arm only goes on one of 4 ways, but you'll know the right way. And we'll tighten that bolt up and get to the next one. All right, there's the pitman arm on. We've got the nut on it. We're going to put the tie rod back on it. If you don't have a 4-inch drop pitman arm, a stock pitman arm will come out to about here. You want to get a 4-inch drop to this steering linkage needs to be as level as possible, and when you raise it up, you're pulling the steering at a funny angle, and you need to get that back down, and that's where the pitman arm comes in. And then we'll tighten that up and we'll get back. There you go. We're done under here. Everything's torqued. I'm going to hunt me down a cotter pin. We'll go and pull our 2 hoses up top and get the box or the pump mounted. All right, we're going to bolt the pump back on. You can see how you turn the pulley. There's a bolt hole there. There's one there, and there's one there. You just slip the bolts back through there, 13 millimeter. They go through this bracket, through the pump, into the intake. And then we'll snug those down. All right, got it filled up with fluid. See all the air bubbles? Those will go away. It may take a couple of hours. Just move it from left to right. Okay. We'll just shut it off and the air bubbles work their way to the top. See how it's still off on me? That will eventually go away. The longest I've ever seen one go was I had a Volvo that took 24 hours literally. Put the pump on it one day, drove it for 20, 30 miles, still growled and made all kinds of racket. The next day, all the air bubbles gone, started up, it's perfect. So I imagine this will take, an hour or 2. See how the level's dropping right there? That's because the air bubbles are working their way out. The power steering can't compress it compresses the hydraulic oil with the air in it. This won't compress when the air is out. All right, so let it sit for a while. Other than that, we're pretty much done. That's about 10 minutes. So we'll be good to go here in probably another 15 minutes or so. All those air bubbles will be worked down. We'll take it for a ride. All right, it's probably been an hour. I went and got something to eat. See how the air bubbles are gone now? Okay. Start it up. All right, there we go. All the noise is gone, quiet, steers good. I've already driven it. The only thing I had to do was tweak the straightness of my steering wheel. And that doesn't have anything to do with the alignment. You can straighten your steering wheel, literally. Get some light on it. See those 2 bolts right there on those collars? Take those out and then turn that one way or the other. Will straighten your steering wheel. And then that's all we had to do. We're done.